Hey guys, welcome to the We Talk To podcast. Today's guest is BBC Social's own Stuart Hay. Stuart, how you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Aye mate, same old. Just getting on with life as you can now.
That's it, mate. Aye.
So Stuart, for people who don't know, what is it you do?
I make sketch comedy, football related mostly. For the past couple of years, anyway, it's been football related. But aye, I just make sketch comedy for online platforms and working my way up hopefully for TV soon. But that's it. Just making stuff for social media, sketch comedy.
So you're saying football related. Can we narrow that down to the old term related?
The Rangers and Celtic.
Aye.
Well, that's the thing. It's listen, Rangers and Celtic are the funniest ones ever. That's where all the patter is. That's where the two biggest supporting teams in Scotland, the two sets of fans are extremely passionate about their football team. Not to mention all the stuff that goes on in the backgrounds, like religion and all that carry on. So listen, it's a hotbed for patter. Working with the BBC, they have said to me a few times, like, listen, you need to maybe try and broaden out and do like Hibs and Hearts and Aberdeen. I was like, listen, see if Hibs, Hearts and Aberdeen do something funny, I'll be there to tear up them. You know what I mean? But as for now, Rangers and Celtic are just it writes itself half the time, so I'm canning up.
So obviously we've seen you doing sketches on what was it? Only an Excuse outside now what looked like Partick Thistle Stadium. Can you confirm that one? Where you walk in with a flag and you're raging about the songs you can't sing.
Oh right,
is that outside where?
Do you know where that was? I was a postman for I used to be a postman, and the sorting office in Coatbridge is the same brick colour as Ibrox. So could I went to Ibrox and done it outside there, but listen, somebody will see us and it'll be a nightmare. And I found that wee bit just at the side of my work that was absolutely perfect. So that one was a good one. That was a good laugh. That one.
I'll admit, it's the first time I'd seen you, and then obviously a lot of your videos are on Facebook, correct?
That's that. Facebook and Twitter. Aye. Instagram's. I don't think Instagram's too good for videos and stuff like that. Like you only get like a minute. Usually my videos are around about a minute anyway. But if you go over that minute, then it takes you into
the live story.
The live stuff and all that, and just like see me, you see that even myself, like, you just lose interest and go, I can't be bothered with that. But we like Facebook and Twitter, it's right there and then, and you don't need to worry about. A lot of people kept on telling me like going to YouTube and things like that, which is fair enough. But I mean, it's laziness.
Trust me, I know it myself. Believe it or not, this podcast has been in my mind since April.
Right.
And I only got around to doing it last month.
There you go. Well, at least you've done it.
I've eventually got around to doing it, man. Do you know it? And it's been the best thing ever. I've worked with guys like the wee man.
I know Neil. He's a good pal.
I got to sit down with him. Me and him had an hour and a half chat just talking about absolute shit. But it was a good laugh. And we've had a few wrestlers on, and we've had a few gamers on, and there's all these things coming up with episodes. But when I seen obviously your videos are starting to trend, I thought, do you know what, we'll get this guy on. He seems like genuine as fuck.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
And then finding out that we come from the same area was just mental.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying, like, before we started this, like, I'm hoping to do this on my phone, and it's the most awkward thing ever. Like, I wish I could have got my Mac working, and it could have been a lot more comfortable. Whereas I'm now sitting in my kitchen trying to get this done.
Trying to get it recorded. No, mate, listen, I won't take you too long. Then we'll try and keep it under an hour.
All the time in the world.
So obviously I do a bit of research on the guys I get on. Had a look. I seen you play guitar. What band were you in?
I was in countless bands, man. No,
see if I recognise anyone.
Mate, they're not even. See, the people have asked me this before, and it's like embarrassing to say because like you just say names of bands, and it's just like bands that never done anything.
But remember, like being for the same. So I used to do my drum lessons at the Thingy Studios. Soundwave.
Aye, that was a good place. That was probably you're talking maybe see around about 2000. I started playing in bands, 2004 2005. With my pals. There was a place up Mairdrie which put bands on every Friday night, and the last Friday every month, called the Home Centre in Airdrie.
Aye.
Absolutely, I'm 31 now. That was when I was 16, and still to this day we talk about it, going, hey, that was unbelievable, by the way. Like, because there was nowhere else for people to go at that age. So, like, you tough like 400 people.
Right there.
Aye, you know what I mean? You'd have like 400, 500 people coming to watch your band. Every month, and then what you do is like there was a wee pub. Well, it was a wee rock club down the road for it called Sneakies, and for some reason, I've no idea. Everybody in there was underage. You could get in, so that's what you done.
It's like, hush, man.
That's you know what I mean. But like, it was the weirdest thing ever because like we could all get in, and that was it. I mean, so you go and do the gig, and then everybody would go down to fucking sneakies, man, after it, and you'd get in no bother, and that was it. You were pissed. But then I remember we all went one time after we turned 18, and it was like the fucking most horrible place ever. Like, what are we doing, man? What happened? Bye. So started playing in bands in about 2004, 2005. I was saying, like, you come to it about here, and you get like the sound wave. That time was a wee bit later, around about 2010, 2000.
Aye.
Between 2010 and 2013 or something like that. Listen, there was a really good
music scene in Coatbridge.
It really was, by the way, and it was everybody was so pals, and it was so bonding, and like all you do is just go to your pals' gigs and just get pissed and just have the best time ever. So it was like,
so they used to run like not a monthly, but every couple of months, all the local bands for Coatbridge would all gig together.
That was it.
And
That's what we used to do.
Like that was I got away with tickets because obviously I'd done my music lessons there. I spoke to the guys quite often, Craig and that. So it was like I'd get a ticket. I was over 18, but I still got given a ticket. And it's like my drum teacher even got me tickets. So the first gig I ever went to was my drum teacher Martin Johnson.
Martin Johnson, the greatest drummer of all time.
Well, it was so many Animal Calls were playing.
You were great, man.
I remember it well. I was 15. First ever gig. King Tut's my cell, man. My mum was shiting herself. But do you know what? It was the best thing I'd ever been to because, like, from then on, I just started going to gigs more and more often.
That it was a massive part of my life for such a long time. That's what I originally wanted to be. I wanted to be a musician. And even to this day, I still think I'll go back to it at one point. I kind of fell into this comedy thing, and that's kind of took over. But I mean, for the longest time, you're talking about 15 years of my life. That's I wanted to be a musician, and I put everything into it, but it just didn't work out. But I'll probably go back to it at one point. But I know Martin Johnson really, really well. Martin's a phenomenal drummer, man. Shocking drummer. He's a good laddie.
He was like, he helped me even the day of my exam. He had me at his bit. My exam was at like say 12. He had me at his bit for 9 o'clock, going over everything I had to do for my exam.
Aye.
Like didn't charges, didn't do it. He was like, just come down, we'll go over everything.
Aye.
He set the kit up in his house. And I walked away with a B.
There you go.
And then, for then, believe it or not, after I left school, I never touched my kit again.
But is that it? But you just gave it up?
I wasn't that, man. I got introduced to drinking shit and going out with my pals. And believe it or not, I've done the full circle, but I'm now DJing. Well, I was DJing.
But what you don't realise is the fact that drinking and music goes hand.
Aye, it did it.
You know what I mean?
See, at the time, it was like none of my pals that hung around me were into that. They were all into their house, their tech house.
Right.
So I kind of followed the crowd, which I really wish I didn't do now. I wish I stuck at music.
Some of the best times in my life were absolutely pissed at fucking 5 o'clock in the morning in some rehearsal studio that I'd been in for fucking 12 hours straight. Honestly, like those were the party days, man. Like, so when we started getting into drinking, we were already musicians. We were already playing. Like, I think me and all my pals, we started learning our instruments around about 12 years old. So by the time like 15 came round, we were all pretty decent and we were playing gigs. So the drink and the gigs went hand in hand, man. We were a couple of rock stars for a while there. You know what I mean? Great days, man.
So I also had a little look. Obviously, we've seen you do your videos on Facebook. Everyone knows who you are because of the old film sketch you do. Favourite one for me is the football kit one with Rangers. I just think that's got to be the best thing in the world.
What, the one where it falls apart?
Between that and the one that doesn't even get his kit, and then he's got the one that's painted on.
I'll tell you, mate, see, they ones are ones that I'll literally just spin out in 20 minutes. It's crazy. There's ones where we do full productions. There's ones where we've got crews and we've been able to locations and it's well thought out and it's well planned out. And then I'll do one on my phone in my house and 500,000 people watch it. You know what I mean? Just things like that. It's the weirdest thing ever. But that was a funny one. It was simply because like I'm a Rangers fan. This is what I get. I'm a Rangers fan, but because I rip into Rangers, like you've got no idea the amount of backlash you get with that.
Oh mate, trust me. Put it this way, a lot of my pals slag me. I'm a Protestant, but I'm a Celtic fan.
I know a boy that's the exact opposite. He's a Catholic, but a Rangers fan.
Is his name Martin by any chance?
It's not. It's Alan.
Alan, pure skinny, black hair.
No, big tall guy, Alan Porkis. Here we go. I've just put him right out there. He'll be an
Does
agent.
the man drink the waffle arms?
No, he's been up the street. He's been up the Dunbethway.
Right, no, because there's a guy to come into the waffle arm when I worked there called Alan, who was a musician and shit.
Aye, Alan Bryce.
Is that his name? He's got missus?
That's his name. He's got missus, aye. Alan Bryce, he's a drummer.
Aye. No more people than we thought. Oh, have we lost them? Nope, there we go.
I mean, no, it's like even like your bands that are about now, like your Tijuana Bibles. You know what I mean? You heard of them? Boys from Coatbridge. They're doing really well. Like they've picked up good the past couple of years. Obviously, like this year's not been kind to a lot of people. But they've got themselves back on the map, and I think they just released something. But the past couple of years, man, they were playing Tina Park, but not even just like. There's a stage at Tina Park everybody always wanted to get. It was a tea break stage.
Aye.
If you got on that, you were class, right? But these guys didn't even do that. They jumped straight up to the King Tut's tent, which is like a 10,000 capacity tent. You know what I mean? Tell them boys for Bridge, man.
Ah, man. See, that's the issue now with this transmit, man. You don't have any of that. See the King Tut stage, man, on a Thursday night at Tina Park when none of the main stages open yet.
Mate,
everyone just bailed for the King Tut stage.
Some of the best times of my life are up in Balado, man, or Tina Park. I only went I think I went 4 times, that was it. The first time I went was 2008, which to a lot of people will be like, that's a wee bit too late to go, because I know a lot of my pals that were there, but it was like the late 90s and stuff like that, when it was still at Strathspey Park. But I went in 2008 because Rage Against the Machine were playing, and
nice.
That was the first time they played in Scotland since like 1994, and so I was ever since I went for the next 4 or 5 years after that. But it was great, absolutely amazing. I always think to myself, could I do that again? Like, I'm 31 now. Could I do a 4 or 5 day bender in a film?
And I'm 23.
Like,
you
know what I mean?
But that's the issue. Like, kids today think Transmit's the best thing since sliced bread.
No,
they don't know what Tina Park was like.
No,
so I went to hear the Roses played, Stone Roses. I made sure I was there. And it was carnage, but it was amazing. Everyone just loved each other. But then you go to Transmit, and it's like we guys scratching with each other, and it's not the same atmosphere.
It's not the same atmosphere. It's because it's the city centre in Glasgow and it's no Carlton. Whereas when you went up to Balado, it was like that was it. That was the town for the next week. That was
you were there.
You were there.
You had to love every cut, or you were getting kicked out.
Exactly, man. But honestly, some of the most mental times of my life were up in that field, man. Had some class times, ridiculous times. Fucking taking all sorts.
Oh, aye.
No, I mean, that was that bit. That's what you did,
that was the scene, mate. Like, King Tut's was the main goal. Like, you wanted to go to for any musician.
Aye.
The main stage at Tina Park was it, but see for any local band for round central Scotland, it was getting on that King Tut stage.
Well, that's what I said. If you could do it, it was like, so there was a tea break stage, which was everybody. That's where all the local bands. If you got any of that, you were something. I mean, there was like bragging rights. You could. I never ever got it. I tried for 10 years straight, never got it, man.
Let me get it now with your name.
See, that's the plan, mate. That's the plan. Give a couple of years. If things pick up a wee bit better, then I'll be going right back to the music, man. Shutting all this.
Listen, people have done it. People have done other things, getting back to music, and it's kicked off for them.
I'm definitely going to go back to it. It's towards the end of like my time of actually properly trying to be a musician. I just fell away from everybody. Like when you play in bands, you know what I mean, it's like you're relying the people that are in your band a lot. You can't just do it on your own. So like, when the older we got, I was always like the same. I was always the same group of pals. I was always in bands. We'd change bands, and a couple of us would go to one band, a couple of us go to another band, but it'd all still come back round. But when you got to like your mid to late 20s, like people were settling down, people were getting married, people were having weddings, and you fully understood that you couldn't fully commit to it anymore. You know what I mean? So by the end of it, I was just away doing. I was away recording songs of my own. I was away doing things like that and thinking to myself, listen, if it ever comes to it, at least I've still got them. And I do. I've got like 2 albums worth of tunes recorded that I'll go back to at one point. So you always keep things in the back burner.
Aye, definitely, man. So, we've lost him. Let's try and phone him back. Oh, we lost you there.
No, see, this is a problem with the phone. This is the problem with the phone. My mum just tried to phone me.
Oh. Well, edit. We can clip that wee bit out. Perfect.
No worries.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm still here. I'm just trying to hang up there every 2 seconds. She's going to try and phone back again.
So I came across one thing on your Facebook that really caught my eye, and I know for a fact because I've been down that route myself. With, I believe it or not, I'd done Facebook videos 10 years ago. Before Facebook videos were big, I'd done them, but I'd done them on like anti-bullying, anti-suit like points that were like people weren't picking up on that are now a relevant subject. Like I was like the right time, the right guy, the wrong time.
Aye.
And I got it myself where believe it or not, I was in a night out in Glasgow and I got jumped because of who I was.
Right.
And I came across your Facebook, like having a look through some stuff, and I seen it happened to yourself. You got a kick in for the exact same reason, man. It's just like
wrong place, wrong time, man.
How did that come about? Don't mind me asking.
No, of course not. Definitely not. Like, I mean, if anything, like, I knew it was going to happen at one point. The stuff I'm doing, I was very well aware that I was riling a lot of people up, and I mean, Rangers and Celtic stuff, man. Like, that's as somebody who comes from a proper staunch Rangers family, like, I know how serious people take their football. Mm-hmm. So when I started winding people up, I knew for a fact some people aren't going to get this, some people it's going to be really bad. So I was very well prepared for it happening. And just I was out one night, it was a wee quiet night. Just it was me and one of my pals. We were in a pub in Coatbridge, and there was
Can we name that pub? No,
we can't name the pub. We can't because it didn't even. Oh, fucking hell, mum. Sorry, she keeps on fucking trying to phone, man. She can piss off. So, long story short, at the end of the night, I walked out the pub and I was just about to go home, and there was a group of probably about 7 or 8 fucking teenage boys, but I mean, but they're probably about late teens, early 20s, and for all I can really remember, mate, it's just you're that orange bastard, aren't you? And like I'm in my 30s, so I was like fucking. Regardless if I was like 7 or 8, and I was like, what's going to happen here? You know what I mean? So it was just, aye, mate, that's me, fucking blah, blah, blah. And next thing I know, man, that was it. Away it went. And to be honest with you, can't remember too much after it. Can't remember.
Sounds like it's like St. Paddy's weekend in Coatbridge.
Man, fuck, you're telling me, man.
See, that's the thing, I'm quite glad to be out of Coatbridge, because it's a lot of vile people.
It's a weird place, man. It's a very weird place. But again, when it comes to Coatbridge, I'm from Whifflet, so Whifflet's its own thing.
Oh aye.
You know what I mean?
You've got the big tree.
And
then at the bottom of that road, you've got
Carson's, which is a Rangers pub, and then at the very 100 metres away is a Celtic pub.
You know, it's a restaurant now. It's a restaurant now.
It's a restaurant now. No, I mean, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so the tap,
so it was like.
At the tap, you've got a big tree, which is
the main Celtic pub. Main Celtic pub. You go literally down a road. You've got the Whifflet Arm, which is kind of neutral, and then further up you've got Carson, which is the Ranger pub, and then across the road was the Celtic pub, and it was kind of like all in one street. It was like there was police fans in every corner of that street.
I always remember at any time Celtic would win the league, which unfortunately has been quite a lot recently, but I do remember back in the 90s when Celtic would win the league, the place was absolute chaos. Or when Rangers would win the league, it'd be absolutely chaos as well. Like police everywhere, you couldn't
even walk. Firm Day.
Old Firm Days, mate. Even right, see around there, like, do you know what's dead funny? Like, I don't know, like, the older you get, you like, because it's such a small wee party Coatbridge, it's like you know everybody. So majority of my pals are Celtic fan pals. So like even in Old Firm mornings, like I'd go to Carson's to get the bus, and my pals would go to across the road to the Fords to get the Celtic bus. So you'd be standing together going, oh, how you doing? You all right? Not even that yet. I remember a couple of seasons back, like we're all walking around together. You know what I mean? Like talking away, and then as soon as they got in the bus, you fucking bastard.
As the papers call it, 90-minute bit.
90-minute bit.
Most of them just 90-minute bit. You get the people like, obviously you've seen what happened during the week on Sunday there.
I was going to take a drive in, man, but thank fuck I didn't.
You're doing a video outside that. Can you imagine it?
I went the day before and done one. I don't know if you've seen that one yet. I went outside Parkhead the other day. What was it? Saturday. I went over on Saturday. No, what day is it today? Tuesday. The right for Sunday. Sunday. So Saturday. I went to Parkhead with a sign that said "Lennon must stay." and done a sketch for BBC. So that went out. That was a good laugh.
Could you imagine if you had done that on a Sunday?
Exactly. I mean, that's what I was saying.
Oh.
I was fucking making sure. But well, I mean, this is the kind of shit I get myself into.
Mate, it's great because it's Sunday that can take a laugh at both ends. Because obviously, done the video again of you singing a Rangers song, and then literally an hour later,
Silly
uploaded
one.
a Celtic song saying free on St Paddy's Day in Coatbridge.
See the jokes with him about the fact that I don't know if you've seen, but like I got a lot of most of my material comes from me just scrolling through Twitter or me just scrolling through Rangers pages or Celtic pages,
Aye.
and it's ridiculous the amount of like serious posts I'll see of somebody trying to like sing a Rangers song but make it like a pop song. And it songs about fucking up to your knees in fiend blood and trying to make out as if it's like a pop ballad. And I'm going,
See,
what
the
the
thing
fuck is this?
there's a boy for Coatbridge, it's a DJ, and he's turned like the Irish Rebel into like proper DJ mixes.
Well, there you go. So it's things like that, mate. I find it's just all that is pure cringe, worthy, man.
Oh.
It's like, why would you do that? So I picked the guitar up and I went, I'm going to try and make the Billy Boys listenable. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm going to see if I can actually make the Billy Boys like a Christmas #1, and it was a good laugh, man. But sometimes you get people who believe you get so many people that actually believe that it's real. Like I'm a real person that's actually doing these like realistically and seriously, and those are the best ones.
Aye, that proper the Celtic Dan Rangers dads that comment in your videos, mate.
Oh,
Like I said, when we arranged this, I
Cool.
sat a few times going through just to have a look and see some of the comments, mate. You see, as
brutal,
they're
man.
like, this guy's just doing it for a laugh. Like, there's other people doing more offensive videos that you just haven't seen.
I know, but I can never. I was saying this the other night to somebody. It's those the people that don't get it. They're the best ones. But see, when you go on their profile, it's like some 60-year-old da, and his profile pictures like that. He can't get it right, and it's like just a big Union Jack around it and all that. And it's like his bio is like fuck SNP and all that shit. I mean, so it's like these deluded
Pure
people,
loyalists through and
pure
through.
loyalists through and through, and it's the same with the other side of the Celtic. It's these people who just don't understand how social media works, and they see something and take it legitimately, instantly. Like like the one, like I done one the other night, Sunday night, where I'm a Celtic fan going through a scrapbook of past memories and crying over it, and you can clearly see like I've edited it. It's like it's an edited fucking sketch.
Aye.
And you've got Rangers fans going, ha ha, get it fucking up, you wee greeting face fiend. Like, how can you think that's real? How can you genuinely think like there's some Celtic fan that's went and made that genuinely? It boggles, man. It's crazy.
There's one thing that, see, well, right, I'll give you, because I'm a Celtic fan, I can hit you with this. If you're doing
Go for
another sketch about Celtic fans, mention the word Parkers.
I've seen it. Staff calls it Parkers. Know what I
Oh,
mean?
mate, so on the Celtic pages, it's all the younger ones, like the Green Brigade and that, are calling it Parkers.
What's
For
that
short.
about?
Parkhead.
But what's that all about, man? You know what I mean?
I don't know where it came from. Listen,
Shite part, man.
but the thing is, the older ones bite to it. If you want the bites,
Aye,
get a Celtic tap on in a video and go, aye, we're going to, Monday we'll go to Parkers. And
Parkers,
just,
man.
that'll be it.
See if I had to refer to Ibrox as like fucking Broxy or something like that. I mean, I'd get leathered
Oh,
again. No?
But it's just like one of the things, like, you look and go, Parkers? Like, I'll win.
Parkers, man.
Like, I'll put on it every now and again. Oh, I can't wait to be back at Parkers. Just to get the bite. See, just to get, and my missus laughs at me. She goes, you're not right. Somebody's going to pull you up for that. I'm like, nah, they won't.
Always about the bites, mate. Always about the
The
bites.
bites.
And when it comes with Rangers and Celtic, it's the easiest thing you can ever do. As it says, mate, that's the sketch I done the other night, the other day outside Parkhead. It's 19 seconds long. 19 seconds and fucking causing riots. You know what I mean?
You're the reason that they rioted the other day.
Aye, that's it, mate.
It's
Aye.
your
Somebody
fault.
fucking
We'll blame you.
somebody photoshopped me into the Parkhead crowd with my Lennon must stay sign. That was a good laugh.
Oh, I need to have a look at that. If we can get that picture, we'll insert it.
I'll sort it, man. Aye.
So music, we'll go back to music for a while because we're both a big lover of music by seems of things. What would say influenced you the most to be a musician? Who would you say your biggest influence was?
It's a hard one, mate. It's a hard one. Listen, see, when I was growing up, I was a wee mosher. You know what I mean? That's well, Stiller. You know what I mean? Mate,
Cat
I
House.
listen. Mate, I listen to Slipknot, man. I listen to
Mate,
Slipknot.
I'll meet you last. So, see, obviously, when Rangers were put down, a lot of Celtic games were 3 o'clock on a Saturday because nobody wanted to televise games.
Aye.
So I used to go to Celtic Park at 3,
Mhm.
and at 6 o'clock be at Cat House Unders.
Mate, Cassie's amazing. Cassie's
I used
fantastic.
to go to Cat House Unders. I would go to Celtic Park
Aye.
and then walk to town, go to
Good time.
Four Corners, grab something at McDonald's, and go to the Cat House. Literally,
Easy, man.
that was
Mate,
my day.
Cass used to be like some of the best nights I've ever had. Like as it says to you later on, like there was a cheap cat house in Airdrie, that one called Sneakies. It was basically the same thing. But whenever you had a wee bit of money, you'd get into the
Aye.
cat house. You know what I mean?
See, I think that's
But that
it.
was
There's
that.
no pubs in Coatbridge or like that anymore that play
There's
good music.
nothing like that. There's nothing like that at all, man. Like there was a lot of places that tried to do it. Like even Hingy, like we were talking earlier on about that Soundwave Studios. Like I remember back in the day, they tried to open a venue. They tried to they got another unit and they tried to turn that into like a
On
fucking
next
club.
door.
Aye, mate, and the idea was amazing. Like, mate, this is going to be class. This is going to be brilliant. I think it lasted 6 months, and I think we wrecked the place. You know what I mean? But aye, there's nothing like that. There's no anything decent. Well, obviously not now because of everything that's going on. But if, mate, I'm too old for fucking clubs and all that shit now, man. I can't
Even
handle that.
bars, like even
Aye,
like
even pubs, mate.
I'll give you with Armlet shoes. I'll never say a bad word about working in it. All the
Aye.
regulars and that had great music taste.
Oh, definitely. It's probably one of the best jukeboxes in Coatbridge and all.
Oh, aye,
You know what I
there's
mean?
no sectarianism. There's not. It's just everyone gets on with everyone,
Aye.
even
No,
on
it's a
Old
great.
Firm Day.
Aye, well, that's what I do. Like if I was going to the game when I came back for it, I'd go and get my pals who were all Celtic fans, and they'd be in the Whiffle Arms. So, and everybody in the Whiffle Arms knew I was a Rangers fan, so it was always a good laugh, and there was never any bother. It's a great pub, man. Like I remember when the Whiffle Arms was before it got done up. It was a shithole, man.
Aye, my mum said that to me. My
Mate,
mum used to go.
I remember when I was 18, there was a tree, and I mean a full-on tree growing in the toilet.
Mate,
No, I mean,
see, to be honest, the root's probably still there.
I'm not even kidding on, man.
See,
I'm
my
not even kidding on.
toilet blogs that I had to clean, man. At my
Aye.
time in there, man, I'm pretty sure that tree's still growing in there.
All that toilet shoes for now's gear.
Aye.
Know what I mean?
Edward, if you're watching, you know this already. It's any toilet you go to in any bar these days. It's the toilets are only used for two things: pissing and taking lines.
Gear. Mate, but I'm not even kidding on. It was like there were so many times, especially at Firm games, where it was so blatant. It was unbelievable. Like there was just queues of boys. And every 10 minutes, it's the same boys. Like, what the fuck?
I make it
I
a
mean,
bit less.
be subtle, boys. Know what I mean?
It's like, so when I worked here, see, I'm never going to go back, so I can open up with this. I used to, and I'd do a Friday close, Saturday close, Sunday close. That was my shifts. Or if it was Old Firm Day, I'd do like a double, so they had that extra guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way through it was my pal would come in, meet me in the toilet.
Jump in, mate, jump in.
Aye, pretty much. And it was like I'd pay for I'd pay for the drink, but they'd think it was on the house.
Aye.
So I would chuck them a dart fruit or a tenants.
Aye.
For gave me a patsy. It was like that's how life was back then. I've been drug free now. I've been 18 months.
Good man, well played,
So,
man. Good on you.
My full family had found out about it. I got kicked out and then got with my missus, moved in with her, and for then since I've been with her, I've just been clean. It's been the best decision I've done.
It's a slippery slope, mate. Like I get caught up in it myself. It never got too bad, but it got to the point where it was costing a shitload of money, man. And it was like, how did I get myself into this?
Aye, then the month you're looking at your wages going, I paid £1,000 and now I've got 200 quid left.
Having to lie about it and all that carry on, like people going, how you skint? I'm like, all this carry on. But I do know a lot of boys that actually fucking took it really, really bad, and some of them I don't even see anymore. You know what I mean? Don't even see them anymore. But managed to catch it. Managed to catch it I managed to catch it at the right time. So
that's how I say to everyone. My missus is my saving grace. She really is.
Good man.
If it wasn't for her, I don't know what position I'd be in.
Aye, you can get in some bad fucking nicks with that.
It was also the crowd I was hanging around. I used to go to football and it was the wrong crowd. It was working in the pubs wasn't helping either.
No. But that's exactly the same what happened to. I think that's the same thing that happens to everybody. Like just, it was never anywhere for such a long time. I mean, like I think it was only maybe the past 3 years. The past 3 years, it's just skyrocketed, and I get caught up in it myself. And I always remember sitting with my pals going, "How the fuck did this happen?" Like we'd be sitting at like 6 o'clock in the morning in some fucking house, fucking like, mate, what are we doing?
I just sitting there like, wait there, what's the time?
I know,
we left the pub at 10.
Exactly, no, it's like 9, we get to like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, man, and you're still sitting there and you're going, what the fuck is going on here? But I managed to catch it. Managed to catch it fucking quick before it became a proper fucking problem. Because
I
it's a slippery.
had a major problem, mate. I'll admit that. I was taking it for the age of 17.
No, couldn't do it, man.
When I turned 19, I started working in pubs and like majorly, and was working double shifts, 10 till 3 in the morning, in a bar called St Vincent's.
Right.
And then because I was doing that, I was snorting, I was drinking on shift, and then my life just kind of went down up. I think he's been phoned half his mum again. Your mum?
Sorry. Fucking my mum again.
Nah, mate, that's fine. Listen, if you want to go and answer, we can pause it and pick it up.
No, it's alright. It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. She'll get a hint at one point.
She might think you're busy at something else. So just one of the ones I went down a bad slope, mate, and it caught with me in the end, and I'm glad it did. Not many people will admit that, but I'm glad it did.
No, but mate, as you're saying, like you're 18 months, man, keep it going. I mean, definitely. I know it's tough, man. It gets hard. No,
it'll be longer than 18 months because it was the February I got found out, so the March a year ago. So what we're now December, so we're coming up for 2 years.
Right.
And it's just like I couldn't entertain it anymore.
No, mate. I remember,
like I said, a DJ, and you see people running in the toilet, and you think to yourself, like,
aye,
nah.
Mate, there was times. Don't get me wrong. Like, see, at the start, it was like everybody. You know yourself. You had a great time. It was like, oh, this is nothing.
A gram's done you.
This is absolutely nothing. I mean, and then I remember, just as it says, like nights, early mornings, I'm sitting in houses, and it's like, what is this actually doing? It's like, I'm just sober as a fucking judge now, and I can't sleep.
I can't breathe.
Aye, exactly, man. I mean, it's like, this is fucking poison, and I've got fucking 180 quid fucking tick bill I need to fucking pay. You know what I mean? Just,
I know, it's like, we were in, like, me and my pal, I'll say my pal now, acquaintance, maybe a better word, and a gaff, and the boy that we used to buy off, he came up, and it was, see that way, we were getting a gram off, like, not even realising, just racking up this bill.
Aye.
And before I knew it, lucky enough, you're going to laugh here, I was working in a bar over in Motherwell before everything hit the fan.
Right.
And I'd put £1 in the fucking plugging machine. Just boredom, nobody was in, won the jackpot.
No way.
Got £200 at the jackpot, put another £20 in it, and the jackpot hit again.
Really?
I walked away 400 quid.
That's amazing.
I phoned the boy up. I was like, going to come pick up this cash and drop off 3 gram. So I paid off the tick bill and paid the 3 gram in cash.
See that's the
issue of the habit.
That's the spiral, mate. Aye, that's the spiral you got to because like every week when I was going to pay the boy, I'd be getting more.
Aye, see that was my issue. I was going and paying him on a Thursday, and see by the Friday I'd make the phone calls.
Aye, exactly. The thing always fucked us up as well was like he'd be at a party with all your pals, right? And I'm not kidding on. They must have phoned, like, they phoned the guy back at least 3 times. And you're blazing, you know what I mean? So you don't realise it, and then the next morning you wake up and your pal texts you like, oh, by the way, mind that money. You're going, what fucking money? And he's like, you owe me fucking 60 quid. We all need to pay fucking X amount. I'm like, oh, you're kidding me on, man. Like, what happened? You know what I mean? And just like,
it'd be easier buying an ounce than what you realise.
Exactly, man.
It'd be better chipping in the fucking 100 quid each and buying like a half ounce of 50.
Exactly.
Than what you would be buying the 3 gram each.
Exactly. But it was a bad spiral, man. It's a bad way to get it. But if anything, like being able to see what it's like you understand how easy it is to slip into that.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So when you like, I remember like before all these things like I'd hear about people and I'm going, how the fuck did you get yourself in that fucking nick? And then I got myself in that nick, and you go, all right, that's how. Aye.
Like my family always tried to keep me away, and I think that's what pushed me more towards it.
Probably, aye.
They tried to like say, oh, you don't want to end up like this, you don't want to end up like that, and you think to yourself, I won't end up like that, and you take the first one, and then you take the second one, and then before you know it, like, you're hooked. Because it gets you through everything.
Aye. Mate, I'm not even kidding. I remember like one time, as it says, I never thought I was bad with it. I never thought it ever got really bad, but it got to a point where I scared myself because I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I told my sisters, and my sister fucking dragged me to a fucking meeting. And I'd never been to any of that before in my life, right? And it was like, I'm not kidding on. I lasted fucking 3 minutes in the place. I went, get me the fuck out of here. This isn't me. You know what I mean? I was in some church in Glasgow, and I'm like, these people are genuine people who need help. Like these are people who are actually really bad. Like, I'm not this at all.
Well, see, my family wanted me to get that type of help, and it wasn't a cold turkey dip.
Aye, that's exactly what I done.
Just stopped taking it, and that was it. Whether I know boys have came off it, but they've gradually took themselves off it.
Aye.
So 3 gram turned to 2 gram, 2 gram turned to 1 gram, a half gram, and then that was him. And it's like, nope, cold turkey, come off it. That's me. And believe it or not, everyone laughed, but this is what I get. This is my replacement. I am brew.
Fucking right, mate. If it works for you, it works for you.
Mate, I go through at least 2 glass bottles, and then about half a 2 litre a day.
Yeah.
But
it's a lot better than what you were doing.
Exactly. It might be ruining my inside, but it's better than ruining my fucking brain.
Better than your head. I mean, I'll tell you, like, there is one story, and there was, I think this was like the turning point of what the fuck is actually going on. I remember walking home one night for a party, and it was like 5 a.m, and place the streets were empty, but I could hear a party. I could hear.
I still hear music playing.
I could hear music, and I'm going back to myself. I'm like to myself, oh, there's people around this corner. There must be people around this corner. Nobody was ever there. I was imagining it, and that scared the shit out of me, man. Terrified me. You know what I mean?
See, that's being a DJ. That kind of watch that happens to you. Like, I could be lying in bed, missus is sound asleep, TV's off, and I'll just start hearing a tune.
Aye.
That I played 8 hours before at the start of the night, and I'm just going. It's something in my gaff. It's like it's one of my neighbours like a pals in or something. Like you don't realise, and you're like, oh no, wait, it's just. It's what happens, especially when you're hooked on it as long as I was.
Aye.
Have I been tempted at times? Yes, I'll hold my hands up.
Oh, definitely, mate.
I've had her to go to and be like, look, I've been offered it. I said no, but like, and it just keeping her in the loop so she knows where my mental state is and stuff like that. Like lockdown's been hard, made really hard. See if we going, if we're not working, to doing like garden parties, which was a big thing for us. Like being DJs, it kicked off great, and then lockdown came again. So like, if you're going from not working to not working, it takes a lot. Like, I know a lot of boys who've gave up DJing now. Believe it or not.
Really?
Amazing DJs have just because they don't know what's going to happen.
Mate, I can imagine that's just the way the industry's everything's going now. Like as I was saying earlier, like, boys I know who play in bands, like their full livelihood's gone. Like I know a lot of boys who would do it full time, and that was their livelihood, touring. Like they'd be going. That's where they make their money. They tour, and now you can't do that anymore. And it's just, and all these venues open, like your Tuts and your Barrowlands and all that carry on. It's mental. So I can totally understand why people are full on chucked it. But hopefully next year when things get back up, people kind of can come back right into it. But
well, what I'm hoping for is when people, and I've said this not before, realise how much the hospitality industry has to get hit this with all this. And gigs are getting sold out, no matter if it's a wee gig or a big gig. See if the first gigs that get announced, see if I don't see sold out, I'll be shocked.
Right, 100%.
Any gig that gets announced, I think people will jump just because it's a night out.
Mate, they'll be partying. Mate, see, as soon as it's said like, everything's alright, mate, they'll be partying in the fucking street. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if like they done some free event in like Glasgow Green. I mean, and just fucking everyone went.
Every DJ in central Scotland that allowed every musician, big pool in the TD shows up for his grave somewhere. Leon Jackson flies over for America just for a free gig.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. Honestly, like I think that's one thing that's kind of keeping me going through. Like when it finally does all come to an end, the party is going to be the party to end all fucking parties, man. You know what I mean? Crazy.
See, what we've been told with DJing wise, it's going to be like May. So my last gig was I DJ'd the night before the old firm got cancelled.
Right.
So that was like the 10th of March, 11th of March.
Aye, something like that.
And I'm getting told the next time I'll be in a nightclub is May. 14 months, mate, without. I'm lucky enough I'm a function DJ as well, so I can do. But like I know boys that have not touched a set of decks, and they won't until they're back at a club.
I've seen in America like they're doing the social distance gigs, which is just ridiculous. What's the fucking point in that?
Mate,
You know what
what you know the mad thing, I'll send you the video later on, is
I mean?
Wuhan, so where all this came from, is
Aye.
having fucking parties.
Ready?
They're having like literally parties and like hotel parties with foam and that. But if they can go back to normal, why can't we?
Exactly.
And this is what
Well,
people don't realise. It's like we can get
before.
there, but you've got all the wee fannies who are still having house parties
Aye.
that are still like I know myself. I broke the rules. I've went and seen my sister,
Oh, I've done it 100 times. I
but
mean,
my sister's the only one I go and visit. She's
aye,
got my 5-month-old nephew. I'm
aye,
not missing his life just because of fucking. No, if like I'm not an SNP voter. I'm not a Tory voter. I don't vote. But
right,
I'm not listening to Sturgeon. I'm not listening to him down in England.
right.
If I want to go and visit my nephew, I'm going to go and visit my nephew. You're not stopping me.
I mean, yeah, it's totally your own prerogative, man. Whatever you do is whatever you
And
do.
it's just like people are like, "Oh, but you're in a lockdown 4, eh?" And you're like, "I don't care.
Mate,
I'm missing out my work. I'm not missing out my nephew as well."
definitely, mate. I mean, my grand died during all this,
Same,
and
mate. Same.
aye, we had to have the funeral and stuff like that. And after it, do you honestly think we weren't going to do anything? Do you think we were just going to go home? Like, no, we went to fucking a house and had a
Aye.
drink and
Well,
and done.
I'm in
So,
the same boat as you, mate. So my gran passed away in July. Funeral, well, in June. The funeral was in July 1st.
Mhm.
I couldn't because of the restrictions of the way that what it was. I
aye,
unfortunately couldn't be in the church.
right,
But it's like you go to this, you're allowed to have like maybe what you want in the cemetery, but you can only have a certain limit in a church. And a church is
right,
probably like more social distant than what the cemetery
aye,
would be.
definitely, because everybody's going to be crowding around the fucking grave, isn't they?
Exactly. So it was kind of like I just feel like the government in a whole, not just Scottish. I feel like the UK government has handled it in the right way, but at the wrong time.
It's definitely the wrong time.
If we had stayed, see if Scotland stayed in lockdown for a further month at the start, we would have been fine.
I said that. I said that. Like, if I remember, so what was it back in March or something? Like that? I remember the night, we went into lockdown. Me and my pal stood outside in the car park and got a bottle, and like stood either side of a car. Went, this is probably going to be the last time we're going to get a chance to do this for the next couple of weeks. Little fucking did we know, man. But I thought to myself, I was like, hey, see if everybody just literally a month for 1 month back then, it would have been done. It would have been
That's what I'm
gone.
saying.
But
So she let us out of lockdown in August.
mhm,
Say she held until the September when schools all went back and everything was more settled.
mhm.
We would have been fine. We would have been okay because our R rating was like 0.4. Now that month because I brought that right down.
Definitely, mate.
And no,
Definitely.
she let it go and everything just went.
It's all the different tier things and all. I understand like there's different spikes in cases and all around about the country and stuff like that. But
Oh, where am I?
that's not
I'm in the worst place for COVID cases.
where are you now?
I'm in Paisley, so Renfrewshire.
Right, well there you go. But
But it's like
well,
me
like
and her
West,
don't go out to see anyone.
say like West Lothian and stuff like
Aye.
that's like a tier lower. I mean, but what stopped me driving there to go and do shit?
And literally, with loadings for yourself, because I said there, you can it's 20 minutes up the road.
Aye,
You go through Air Drain just up the back road, you can go to
that's
Livingston
it,
like
mate.
that.
You're there in 20 minutes, mate. Exactly. So what? Either everybody needs to be the same, or it's a free for all. Because all you're going to do is just jump in the car and fucking I'll drive there and go and
But
get
the police aren't going to stop you.
exactly.
There's about 10
I've
cars.
only ever been stopped once. I remember like months and months and months ago, I get stopped for the police, and they're like, "Where you going? What are you doing?" And all that. I was just driving back to my mum's, and I get the third degree there. But ever since then, none. Not heard
Nah,
of.
see, the police, they're saying they're going to enforce it, but they've got more important things to do, like these garden parties and house parties, and my camera has froze. Gives 2 seconds, mate.
That's all right, mate.
Settings.
I'm going to try to stick these headphones back in, so this might cut out again, but if it does, I'll be back.
There we go. Is that it back? There we go.
Can you hear me?
Aye, I can hear you.
Says like I was prepared for the Mac to work, not my phone. So
Aye.
my phone's got like fucking 18% charge, so I'm divvying between the headphones and the charger.
So what can we see in the future from you? Because obviously we know Only Excuse is coming up, and it's the final one. They've said that. Are you appearing in it?
I can't tell you.
You can because everyone else has been confirmed that they're going to make a appearance. Have you got at least a couple of sketches?
What
What can you disclose?
I'm unsure what I can disclose and what I can't disclose. I've been on the writing team for All Excuse for 2 years, right? And this is my second year. The first year when I done it last year, none of my stuff got took, not one single thing. But I learnt a lot. I learnt how to do it, and I learnt like the procedures behind it. So I spent this full year making sure I got on it and making sure I'd done everything right. So I can't say too much because I
We
don't
don't want
want.
the sketchy. We don't want any of that stuff. We
No,
just want to know.
it's not even
So
to do that.
there will be an appearance from yourself.
Hopefully,
Hopefully, that's all we want
I'll
to know.
be, I'll be, I'll be filming things for them. Whether they use them or not, we'll
Okay,
see
no,
what
that's fair
happens.
enough. That's fair enough. Like I say.
And there's sketches I've wrote that hopefully they've took. Everything seems very positive. I just last year I was very optimistic that everything was going to work out and I was going to get on it, and it didn't work out. So I kind of put my fucking foot in right in it with a lot of people because I was like, oh, I'm doing all the excuse, and then it never worked out.
You done like
All
one thing, and it was when you're walking up to the stadium with the flag.
that was even all the excuse. By the way, that was just me.
Oh, I thought I seen it. I'm sure I seen that on telly.
No, that was
Seriously?
just seriously. That was just me. I've never had any non-only excuse. Never
I'm
had it.
positive I seen that on telly. Unless somebody's
No.
clipped it and used it and something.
That one got about. I think about 250,000 people seen that one. That was just me on my own. That was just me.
You're taking our heritage.
But what I can say to you about All Excuse this year, it is the last one. I've had very positive phone calls about
Sketches.
about my contribution to it this year. But
Well, that's
again,
good. I'm glad to hear.
I'll believe it when I see it. And,
No,
then, and when it comes to next year, because there's no All Excuse anymore, I will be pursuing to be the next one to do that.
because obviously we've lost still game.
I know.
We've lost chewing the fat, and then we're losing only excuse. It's like, what is good for Scottish Hogmanay now? Because it was your only excuse, still game. The bells went, chewing the fat. That was your
exactly.
night.
That was your night, and that's the thing. And the thing is, All Excuse has been shite for about 10 years, and they know it. And they've just been
Thing
on a
is, this year they'll have a lot of ammo with everything
well.
that's happened with Celtic and.
Well, that's the thing. That's what you would think, but again, from learning how they do it, it's fucking more complicated than you think, man. You think it's really straightforward, but it's not.
I try to get the guys into character and
there's
try
always
how to find how you don't offend people. Yeah, you offend people without offending them. Like keeping on that level playing field type of thing. You can see that they try that.
they do, but the thing, I think the problem, I say to them, their problem was you were going away from Scottish football and you were focusing too much on politics, whereas when I was growing up, you watched All Excuse because of the football, of the football part. And if anything, that was their demographic, like the working class.
It's like guys like me and you who are like are buzzing. That's the one thing.
Exactly.
Because we've got the old film in a couple of days. It's like, alright, let's get into it.
Exactly.
And you see the banter between, and it's like that's what you want to see.
Exactly.
Now it's all about the fucking.
They do politics, and that alienates people because some people don't understand it and some people don't follow it, and just.
Well, see, I grew up. My grand's a councillor.
Right.
For Kirkwood, Kirkshaw's, in a party with her. I don't know if she counts as your counsellor.
Right.
And it's like I've always grew up in her household as so I've always known my politics, and my grand's always wanted me to follow down the route of politics. But
right.
see, in the last maybe 5 years, I've looked at it and went, "Fuck that!" Like looking at it, going, "No." Like you see these guys, pure fucking like it's all about it's all about the money.
Aye.
Nobody wants to better the area.
If anything, I don't talk about politics because I don't know enough about it, and I know for a fact if I ever tried to talk about it, somebody would challenge me on something and make me look like a fucking idiot. So I try and stay away from it as much as I possibly can. I'm passionate about some things, but you very rarely hear me
do a video on politics and all that
definitely
stuff.
No, definitely not, because as it says, it's some of these people, it's their livelihoods, and majority would absolutely school me on anything. So it's an area I don't want to be a part of. I'll stick to my football.
Aye. I think that's what made Still Game so successful. It stayed away from the football. It stayed up. Well, they were Partick Thistle fans.
Well, that's
what made Still Game Still Game. But they never brought any religion into it. They never brought any of that. It kept it to Glasgow and the working class, and that's what made that work. Same with Only Excuse. It kept it to football, the roots of it, all the teams, where more it feels like it's just all about Celtic and Rangers.
Definitely.
And it's
Definitely.
like, it's not only it's youth anymore, it's like only an old firm.
Aye, I know,
And
100%.
it's,
Well, this is what I've been trying to say to them, and I've been trying to push on. But again, I'm the new boy. I'm the new boy on the scene, so there's only so much push I've got. But listen, all I can do is just keep on doing what I'm doing,
I mean, just
it's,
keep smashing it. Like I said, the
it's
stuff on Facebook is doing really well for you.
cheers, man. Thank you.
Maybe try
It's
and get in contact with like the wee man and stuff. Get you a wee skip with him.
I've been no, I know Neil. I'm really good pals with Neil. I've been in a sketch room before. It's not went out yet. We done
Ah,
a sketch. We done a sketch at the start of the year. For Channel 4, but it's not went out yet because of fucking. It looks as if we've got like 30 people in the one room, so we can't put that out because it looks as if we've all just breached COVID rules. But hopefully you'll get to see that one soon. No, listen, I talk to Neil quite regularly. I've not spoken to him in quite a wee while, but no, he's a good pal.
have you seen the video of him on Red Amber Green or Red Amber Go?
No, what's that?
Oh mate, so when we done the one with him, we sat down and he was like, "There's a video on his YouTube, and it's a video of him doing the wee man, the first ever one in Ned's crew, and it
Right.
skits into him on an STV show called Red Amber Go."
Is it when he was a wee laddie?
Aye,
Aye, I've seen it.
and
Aye,
he gave me permission to upload it,
right.
and like my dad, my sister, like all my family are very supportive on this, and I love it because it's like it's a thing I'm passionate about, and my sister who grew up watching the wee man,
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh my god, can't believe that. Look at him then and look at him how he looks now.
Right.
And it's like it comes from the same areas like we do. I never knew he came from Motherwell.
He's a Lanarkshire boy.
And
Aye,
then I never knew that until he told me. I was like, wow, that's mad. And it's like
aye.
you don't realise like Lancashire's had so much to offer. Nobody realises it.
It's crazy as well. Like he created that persona as like the Ned, like the ultimate Ned. When in actual fact, when he was growing up, he was like a wee mosher like myself. He played drums in bands and stuff like that.
He
You know,
kept
tell you
that.
that one.
He kept that quiet.
Exactly. Also, that was funny.
Well, see, the thing is, the reason I got the wee man on is to try and go to more comedians. So I had two wrestlers on,
Aye.
which done really well. Two of the episodes, like I said, this is about views to me. If one person views it or 100 people views it, 1,000 people views it, it doesn't bother me. But the two one
Definitely.
with the wrestlers that done really well, 100 people, 100 views plus, which means over 100 people have seen it.
Good man. Good.
Neil came on, I was like, "Do you know what, I can see this as I can still stay down the wrestling route, but then jump into the comedian route."
Mhm.
So that's how I brought yourself on because obviously you're a comedian. I can go down. That's another route, but you're also a musician. And
Yeah.
that's how I see. I said that to Missy when I sat down and me and her discussed this. She's like, "What are you going to talk about?" I went, "Anything, everything, and it with anybody."
That's it, mate. Aye.
She's like, "What?" I
Definitely.
was like, "Aye." So I've messaged Daza, the cunt that fries.
I know
Said
him very well. I know him very very well.
he told me to give him a message, never got back to me. So
He's a bit. He's always a busy laddie.
well,
Fucking eating hunters of shite.
well, he was on Twitch, which actually I came on. Went on his stream. I said to him about it, like, hit me up, definitely. I'm up for that. Hit him up with a message.
Tell him I done it. Tell him I've been on.
But the thing is, like, believe it or not, I got told one of the wrestlers. Like, I'd mailed a lot of them. See, because it's my first step, so I wanted to get somebody on.
Uh-huh.
So I sent. They'd all spoke about it. Like, had anyone else received this message? Is it real? And the boy that done one of the boys that done the podcast went in the next day and was like, "I've just done it. He's brand new."
Aye.
And I had 9
Good.
guys reply straight away.
Straight away, I'll do it. I'll
But
do
see, they were thinking
it.
people think with podcasts it's all about personal stuff. That's not what I'm about. Personal stuff on
No.
Twitter, I see shit like that.
Aye.
That's your own business. To me, I just want to get somebody down like yourself, like we've spoke about,
Mhm.
or issues with drugs, or career stuff like that, and see that way just have a fucking laugh.
That's it, mate. Aye.
I'm not going to be one of these podcasts like. I've been told once COVID's done, and I can get a proper camera set up and microphones, I've got a place I can film it all once a week for
That'd be good, mate.
for free of charge.
That'd be class. Aye.
So I've been offered. Do you know where Barbuda is in Glasgow?
I do, mate. Aye.
My pal owns that. He said I can use it in there.
Good man. I mean, that's great. Mate. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Like, I'm a I'm a delivery driver for Amazon, so I spend all my time. And before that, in a van. And before that, I was a postman for 11 years.
Oh.
So like, I spend all my days just listening to podcasts constantly. And like,
Well, the good thing is we've actually got the first 3 episodes, which is Lou King Sharp, Davey Blaze, and the Wee Man are all on Spotify.
Davey Blaze, he started following me on Twitter. Is he a wrestler?
Aye.
Aye.
He was
like,
quite fun to have on. I mean, because believe it or not, I keep looking back, make sure it's still recording. The first we recorded it,
Right.
And we'd done half an hour chatting away.
Aye.
The recording went black.
You're
All
real.
audio, no
Oh, really?
video.
Wow.
So we had to
Perfect.
start. We only had 20 minutes to cram in what we'd spoken half an hour plus everything else I had to speak about in
Aye.
20 minutes.
Fuck's sake.
And it was
just
we
have,
started
just have to do
talking,
it again.
and it worked. And I've got don't know if you've known Mikey Motion, Mikey Collins.
No, mate. No,
So
man.
he's a comedian, does a lot of Facebook videos,
Right.
but he's also a DJ.
Right.
So me and him, I had him on now. I'll disclose this because we're recording next week.
Aye.
So by the time this goes up, I'll record with Mikey. We recorded an episode, literally got to an hour, and my neighbour flooded my kitchen.
You're kidding me.
Now it's on street, like we've got the recording, it's sitting there, like you can see me running about mad.
Uh-huh.
He's sitting doing something with thumb, and I was like, Mike, I need to go. But literally, we got an hour recording done, literally just about to come to the end, and it got flooded. So I now had to go back and re-record everything, just to get. Oh, you good?
Guys, can you hear me?
Aye, I can hear you.
Sorry. I did put the charger back in and your voice went.
Aye, no. So I mean, him we're laughing about it. Like, mate, we'll just re-record it because he's doing stuff with. Oh, what's her name? D Maxwell.
Right, aye.
He's doing videos with her, like, upcoming a podcast style.
Right,
But like me, and Mikey, I've known Mikey for about 2-3 years now through DJing,
right.
and that's what I said. I was like, people like myself who are new at the scene look up to guys like him. He's been doing it 20 odd years.
That's crazy, isn't it?
So it's like we look up to guys like him and all these other ones that can do like see your vinyl stuff and all that. Like it's proper amazing. And like I'm sitting there with this wee thing, looking at my laptop screen, still making sure everything's matching. Where you see him just looking, and
You
it's
can just
all
do
in
it.
his ear, like matching it time by time.
Aye. Well, that's what happens with practice, isn't it? It just becomes second nature.
And then I sat down with one of my pals who lives in America, so I was up at 12 o'clock. Recently I've been going to bed like 9-10 o'clock because there's no point in staying up late anymore.
No,
The new COD's pish, so it's not even worth playing. But I stayed up with him, and me and him sat for an hour and a half just speaking, and it's all
Aye.
recorded to go up. So it's just me and him having a chat about games and stuff. So
Good,
like I
man.
said, there's nothing personal as in like, oh, so I seen this on Twitter, I was ready to speak about it. It's like, nah, we'll stay clear
Just
of that.
Aye, just talk, man, just chatting. No, definitely. This is what I like to do as well. Like, I've done a few podcasts, man, but it's like it's been like Rangers ones and things like that. This is so when you asked me to do this, I was interested because I was like, well, this is something a wee bit different. This is like something that seems more up my street. Like it's not just so
Like
thing.
I said, we've managed to speak about. I normally, believe it or not, write down questions and just have like make sure I can always go back. But with like, the last couple, I've just kind of been like, do it, we'll wing it.
Aye, no,
Because
definitely.
when I've got somebody in my face to face, it's like you can't sit there with notes.
You know, exactly. That's sometimes when you get the best stuff and it just naturally flows. And again, that's I listen to, as I say, listening to a lot of podcasts like your Mark Maron and stuff like that. And I've been listening. Do you know Justin Long, the actor? He's doing like Jeepers Creepers and all that. I came across he had a podcast and I started listening to it. It was amazing, and it's just literally that. It's just sitting, just talking a lot of shit.
See, I'll drop a good one for you. It's a boy from Motherwell. We'll save our friends. Derek Watson, the DW podcast. It's called.
Good one,
Exciting podcast. It's got guys like the LaFontaines are on it.
I'm good pals with them, man. Aye,
Kerr's
brilliant.
Kerr's, that band's going somewhere.
Listen, man, they've been going for about 10 years, man. I mean,
he's got his own. He's in his own band. But the Banter Thieves.
Aye.
So it's their bassist that's hosts it. But they've had some great people. They've had like Paul Craig on. They've had.
I done a sketch with Paul Craig where he fucking flipped me, man. It was one of the sorest things of all time.
See, him and who's that one? Chris Bungard.
Was he like MMA as well? Is that what he does?
He does MMA. So I'm a big wrestling fan. I don't hide that.
No, listen.
Especially the Glasgow scene. The Glasgow scene's killing it now. Like, there was one point there was 8 champions in WWE from Scotland.
That's crazy, isn't it?
So the fact we didn't just have one or two. It was like you had the tag team champions, world champ, and the women's champ, in NXT UK. You had a tag team champ in SmackDown. Big Drew McIntyre's lifting titles. It's like all these people, and you're like to yourself, holy fuck. We can actually do something right.
It's crazy. Well, that ICW's went from fucking strength to strength, man.
See, one man I'd love to get on, I've said this to me, man, I'd love to sit down with Dallas, the boy that runs it,
Mark
and
Dallas.
just get in his head. Just
Aye.
how it came about, all this, and just get a chat with him, but I'd rather do it face to face in like a ring.
Aye.
Love to sit
That
down
was cool,
in
man.
a
Aye.
ring, camera on us, and just chat.
I'm sure you'll be able to get him, man. No, I'm sure
I think
hard to get.
once COVID's a bit easier, I'm gonna speak to Neil and push him the idea first, see what he thinks,
Aye.
and then see if he'll run it by Dallas. Because like I said, I aim for about an hour. I don't tend to go as much long. Like the reason Neil's went on because I edited a lot of stuff as well, so I
Aye.
edited like 4 of his songs together,
Right.
and he fucking loved it. But it was that way. I edit all this myself, so I'm learning as I go. So like, putting these songs and clicking to make sure you get the right part, so it doesn't like
You get it
halfway
right.
through a sentence.
Aye.
And it was like, so it starts off with him having a rap battle with himself. So it's him as Neil rap
Right.
battling the wee man.
That's
And
cool.
it goes, here mate, that'll be right. Here mate, bolt ya rocket, and then it bounces straight into, here mate, that'll be right. Here mate, bolt ya rocket, and it like it's first like 40 seconds, but everyone said that's what made them stick in because it's captivating.
I caught them, man. Aye,
It's
definitely.
like, okay, so we know who
Aye.
you're speaking about straight away. Whether
Aye.
like you bring somebody on, let's say, try to think, I'll bring on an up and coming wrestler that nobody knows. It's not going to captivate people as much because like you can't even add in highlights.
Aye.
So like, I'll clip, if I get your permission, obviously clip different parts of your things, and just add, like for the 40 seconds, like so I'll clip. Obviously, you walking down with a Rangers thing, I'll get you singing the Celtic song. Which, like, I'll just clip wee parts of it, edit them
Aye.
together so they know roughly who you are.
Aye.
Because
That's good,
the
man.
boy that the one I was lucky enough, the boy that done the first podcast, he had a wee intro type of thing sorted anyway that he
Already made.
used when he wrestles.
Right.
So I just clipped the first 30
Just
seconds of that. Just stole it off him. And it's just like, see one of the ones that's like, the podcast was a great idea because there's not any of this style. It's all, as you know yourself, the one style.
Aye.
Until you
It's
get to
all-
Dana White and it's proper different.
I can't, and even like the Joe Rogan one and stuff like that, it's too much for me, man. It's so in depth, it's unreal, man. It's like,
They talk about different things, man. It's like things that should not be spoke about.
exactly. That's the only one, as I say, is like, as somebody who's massively into podcasts, I've never sat and gave Joe Rogan a shot because I just felt as if I'd already knew what it was all about because it's so popular and
Everyone listens to it.
Aye, I even remember I heard the story like when he first found out about podcasting, he's like, mate, there's a way to make money out of this, and now he's fucking how much is he worth?
And he's got
Aye.
UFC as well that he owns and Bellator and he's in. I said, who was I said something like, how would you say Joe Rogan? I went, he's the next Vince McMahon.
Aye,
He's
definitely.
seen something, put the money into it. Because me and the missus Googled it. So he bought the shares of the rest of the ones that own WWF
Right.
for $1 million. That's all he paid them all $1 million. So he
Right.
split 3 ways $1 million, and he's now worth like 8.2 billion.
Crazy, innit?
So he's went for just getting £1 million, having this idea to himself
Best
now,
investment ever.
and now he's worth billions. It's like, holy fuck! He said, Donald Trump shaved his head off. Like Donald Trump owns shares in it now. It's like the world's in a mad place, and you look at somebody like wrestling, and I think that's what's kept me through lockdown is still having, because we lost football for a long time.
Aye.
Football's a way of life for me. It always has been, and it's like we lost that for a long time.
Aye.
And having the wrestling was just kind of one of the ones that you're like, okay, we've still got some sort of normality.
Joe, what's crazy with me is like everybody else, like I grew up with Attitude Era and stuff like that, and I loved it, and I could never see by it, and I tried several times to kind of keep into it with all with the new breed and stuff like that. It just never caught me as much. I never seen like the absolute chaos of what I grew up with.
See, that's
there was
the good
none
thing
of
about
that anymore.
well, ITW, believe it or not, are now on the WWE network.
I've seen that, man. Aye.
I would recommend you like going to watch their episodes.
Aye,
because as my missus says, she doesn't like SmackDown and Raw. She's not the biggest fans, but she'll sit and watch a full ICW episode or an ICW pay-per-view because it's so fucking brutal.
Aye.
Like you
that's
couldn't
what
like
I'm
it.
after, man. Like
you want like ECW, Attitude Era, that type of stuff.
I just want to see people getting chucked off things. I mean, like, they don't. You never see that anymore. Like during lockdown, I bought that WWE Network. I done the free trial, and I just watched hundreds of old pay-per-views, man. And like when I was growing up, I was a massive Hardy Boys fan. Just because, like, mate, tables, ladders, and chairs, man, all day long.
So we watched the highlights for last night's Raw. Raw's still on a Monday night.
Right.
Jeff Hardy for the top rope, swanton bomb somebody through a table. But
right.
The table's right next to the steel chair, the steel ring, like the steps, and you actually see Hardy's neck going like that on the he just lands it in his neck, going like that. He's hot. You can see he's hot it.
It's unreal, man.
Like, these guys, when I look at the newer breed of wrestlers, like the WWE ones, and they're not the same.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They're no risk takers, they're no high flyers. It's all these big wannabe John Cena's.
Like, you not even remember, like, what was it? Like, it was Linda McMahon. Remember that time she was like paralysed or something?
Oh my god!
You know what I mean? Storylines like that.
Aye, you know Eddie Guerrero v Rey Mysterio for Rey's son.
Aye, see, shit like that.
You cannot get away with that these days.
Exactly, but that's like the best entertainment ever. So I've relit that fire of my love for wrestling for the past couple of months because I've been sitting watching old pay-per-views and I'm going, this is just like the best entertainment ever.
Well, watch ICW, mate.
I will do, mate.
I highly recommend it. I said that to the missus. She's like, she watched it with her wee brother and she started getting into it with me. Like, I've always been a big lover of wrestling. One of my best pals, saying that, you might know him, Daniel Mossy.
I don't, mate, no.
He's for Coat Bridges. Albion Rovers, like, biggest fan.
Fuck.
I know.
Few and far between.
Aye, them in a phone box. But he got me into ICW.
I know a lot of boys that go to it. I know a lot of boys that, and I know a few boys that, but I'm pals with like that Veronica who does she does the backstage stuff. You know what I mean? Pals with her, pals with obviously Neil, things like that. And I've got a few pals who are still massively followers of wrestling. So they always talked about it and they always went to it. And so I would see clips. Obviously, like through Neil, like through Veronica and stuff like that. I'd see clips of
Veronica's the dark haired one, yeah.
She is, aye.
You've got the dark haired one, you've got the blonde one.
Jen,
aye.
So they two. But I mean, I'd catch clips every now and again. I mean, fucking Triple H on it.
He just showed up because they were doing a show down the road in Cardiff.
Like
literally 5 minutes, and him and the NXT champion showed up.
Aye.
And it was just like for a 3-minute segment. But the fact Triple H is at an ICW thing, and now you've got there's more ICWs in NXT UK than what there is any other company in Europe.
Crazy. See, I mean, even regardless of all that, they fucking got Mick Foley.
They've had Kurt Angle is wrestling.
Did Kurt Angle do it at all?
He's wrestling in the ring. Rey Mysterio.
But mate, they also sold out the Hydro. Know what I mean? That's that's an achievement.
ECW never see the crowd they had it, and this was Neil that told me this. ECW didn't have the crowd at a normal show than what ICW had at the Hydro. They had a bigger crowd than ECW ever had.
See, that's me. I mean, that's like, I would get all the respect in the world for that, for Mark Dallas, because I mean, you know for a fact, that idea probably came one day. He was sitting on a couch, fucking steaming with his pal, and went, "Why don't we just make our own wrestling fucking show?"
Obviously, ECW was. They tried to reboot ECW to start with, and it went well. And then Vince McMahon got more with the people who were watching it, took over it and made it more PG, and it became shite.
Aye.
And then I think we've needed a ECW reboot, but a new one, and I think that's what makes it, because it is Glasgow based, and you couldn't do that. The shit they do, you can do in England. Well, it wouldn't work. The accents, none of that shit would work.
It's all about power up here. Like this is something I've always said. Like, I like, see, when it comes to being a comedian and stuff, I don't rate myself as any sort of comedian in anything like that at all. If anything, I'm a writer. You know what I mean, I write comedy and I just act in it.
Aye.
But I always thought to myself, like, move to America. Like, I always had this ambition to write for Saturday Night Live. So for the longest time, probably the past 10 years, I had this notion I was going to move to New York, and I was going to fully try and write for Saturday Night Live, and I was going to try and make over there. But then I'm going back to myself, I could go over there and I could fall flat on my fucking face and not get anything. Whereas if I stay in Scotland, there's only 5 million people here, and it's a very unique humour that nobody else gets. I'd rather be fucking extremely successful in Scotland than moderately all right somewhere else. I mean, it's like,
And
this
then
is the
Scotland's
best
in the
place
map, like
it is.
between Scotland reaching the fucking Euros,
Exactly.
which is great. The first time we've done that in fucking 20 odd years.
Yeah.
You've got
Pretty
the wrestling. You've got Rangers doing amazing. This kills me, but amazing in Europe. The Rangers are killing it in Europe every season now.
I know, it's crazy, man. But you need to remember as well, like, fucking, it's been 10 years of absolute fucking mince.
Exactly. So, like, being a Celtic fan, we knew this day was coming. I was hoping it would be after the 10. I was praying it would have been after the 10. We'd got the 10, and then the year after that, it'd been that Rangers won it. I wouldn't have cared.
Aye.
Because it's a year of the 10.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like, the other day, talking to a lot of my Celtic fan pals, and I was like, the pressure's got to Celtic to get this 10, and that's what's killed you.
I think Bolingoli at the start of the season fucked it for Celtic.
That was it, man. But I was saying, like, the 10's the holy grail, because exactly what you said. After, if you've got 10, it doesn't matter what Rangers done after this.
No.
Not a fucking thing.
You could have won a treble. It's never going to beat Celtic
Exactly.
at 10.
I know, and it would be Celtic bragging rights until Rangers got to 10, and that could be 100 a year. You know what I mean?
Well, what was it? 20 years ago, Rangers done the 9.
Done the 9. None of us have ever done 10.
And then it was 20 years before that, Celtic done the 9.
Celtic done the 9.
So it's like every 20 years, somebody's just going to do a 9 in a row.
Exactly.
And we'll never see it, so if somebody at least gets it, because it's a fight between us and Juventus, whoever wins the league first.
Aye.
Because Juventus are on 9 as well.
Are they? Fucking hell, I didn't know that.
Aye, they're on 9, and some cunt for either Gibraltar or some dodgy fucking location is on 9. So the 3 of us on 9, and it's whoever finishes the league first is going to be the first team to get 10 in a row.
Crazy. Well, I said the other day, I came up with a really good point the other day, like, regardless of what happens this year, this is, like, quite possibly the biggest season in fucking football history. Either Rangers finally have came back for the 3rd division to fucking win the fucking league. That's like Hollywood story.
Going for the Petrofat Cup.
Aye. No, I mean, or Celtic have the comeback of the fucking century.
Aye, I'm sure you put that on Facebook.
That's what I'm saying. Aye, like, I came up with this. Like, it's such a.
Aye.
Either Rangers finally win after all the shite, after 10 years of this pish, or Celtic win 10 in a row.
Celtic come back and win the league. What would we need to do to get you on this podcast with a Celtic top?
Oh, mate, I'd be a Celtic top anyway. I don't give a fuck.
Fair enough. See, I want to try and get somebody on who's a die-hard Rangers fan, like Grado.
Aye.
Somebody like Grado to come on and be like, so Celtic win the 10, what can we get you back on for a catch-up and a Celtic top?
I made a very foolish bet with one of my pals a couple of years ago, who took it far too seriously and far too literally. It was the first season Rangers get back to the fucking Premier League, and we're in a pub, and I'm steaming, and I says to him, if Celtic won the league that year, I would get a Celtic tattoo, and because I felt that strongly about Rangers.
Was that the year we went invincible and doing Rangers in 5-1, 5-1, 2-0, 5-1, 5-0, 4-0?
So it was one of my pals who plays in the local band, like that Tijuana Bibles, who, as I said earlier on, were doing really, really well.
Aye.
So fucking they took it into their own hands to go and get a hold of the Daily Record. You know what I mean? And next thing I know, I'm getting fucking emails for the Daily Record saying, I hear you're going to fucking get a Celtic tattoo if Celtic win the league and stuff. And I'm going, get yourself the fuck. I was steaming last night. You can fuck off. And I'm still, honestly, to this day, I still get asked constantly, when you getting that tattoo? Happens all the time.
Fucking arrange a tattoo artist. I know one very well who lives next
to
my granny.
Same with me, mate. My best pal's a fucking tattoo artist, man, so he was more than willing to do it. And see, even at the end of the day...
Is it by any chance the boy that runs...
the Whifflet?
Aye, so see how Kieran...
Kieran Scott, man.
Aye, well, Kieran's my gran's next door neighbour. I grew up
with
Kieran.
Kieran's great.
A great drummer as well. There's
he played in a few of my bands, man. Like, Scott, the other guy, he's like my oldest pal. He's one of the guys I went to nursery with him, man, and he played in all my bands I played with, and he's done a lot of my tattoos as well. But he's
Kieran, that's what an original. Like, I don't know if you put see it there. This is a bit on the webcam. So Kieran, this was a drawing I seen on Kieran's Instagram. He'd never done it before.
Right.
And I went, can I get that done for my first tattoo?
That's cracking, man. The first tattoo, you got one that size, you're after or not?
Believe it or not, I fear the needles. Got over my phobia.
It's sore as fuck, man. It's like
you get over your phobia. I done what's the stupidest thing to do that will, and I thought, you might we'll get a tattoo.
I will.
And even the outline, that stayed outline for 6 months. I didn't get it shaded. I liked to outline it too much.
Aye.
And then I got it shaded. I'm like, do you know what? I'm not. There's still bits to be shaded. I'm like, nah. It makes it look. It's how I like it.
Aye.
But no, Kieran. I've like I say, I've known Kieran since I was fucking in nappies.
Aye, no, Kieran's a great laddie, man.
I wouldn't go to anyone else for tattoos.
Well, same with me, Scott. Like, I don't.
They've done well with that studio.
Mate, they've done mental. It's a three, so it's Scott, Kieran, and a boy called Liam, who's fucking fantastic as well, man.
Is that? See, I think he was the new boy that came in when I was going into.
Aye, he started as a apprentice.
Pure skinny.
Aye, skinny. Aye. He's a wee lanky fucker, man. But I love him. I love him like fuck, man. He's one of the best guys ever. And Scott's done all my tattoos, and I never ever let him delve through them, but I let Liam give me one, and he just gave me like a small one on my arm. It was like a Slipknot thing, and it was perfect, mate. It's perfect for me. So the guy's fucking class.
While we're on music, then favourite Slipknot song?
Eyeless.
It's maybe either Duality or Snuff.
Snuff.
Pure
Mate.
Fucking.
That's like the new, well, not the newer stuff. Like Duality was like 2004. Snuff was like 2008. Mate,
Snuff it hits you to the heart, man.
It's a weird one, mate. Like Slipknot, like a lot of people kept on saying to me, like, you should agree. Oh, well, why do you still listen to Slipknot? Like, mate, it was just one of those things. It's like they were my band, so I've seen them 10 times. Fucking every time they come, I always go. I've met them fucking numerous times, man, and shit like that. And it's a nostalgia thing, because when I was growing up,
different type of band, man.
They were mental.
Especially you look at Clowning at the shit they do with the fucking the beer drugs and all that, man. It's just fucking bang shit, and you think
it was something, mate. It was something that you'd never seen before, and it was the full thing. Like the thing that got me was like, mate, there was 9 of them, like 9 fucking people, right? And wearing masks and boiler suits, and they became one of the biggest bands in the world. How the fuck does that happen? You know what I mean? How does that happen? And don't get me wrong, one of them died and a couple of them was left, but see, for a good 10 years, it was the original 9, and like there's bands where like
they've all got the tattoo like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, can you see it on? Is it Jim? Is that his name? The big
Jim Root, the guitarist, man.
Aye, he's got one, but who's the big massive fucker again?
Mick,
he's got 7 right there.
Aye, aye.
And it's like Joey Jordison's got 9 tattooed, and it's like that shows how much respect they've all got for each other.
Well, that's what it was. It was like I'd never seen anything like that. See, in all the videos, and like they do a lot of documentaries and stuff like that, you'd never seen anything like it. It was like
they're hilarious backstage.
Mental, man. You know what I mean? And like I remember the first time I went to see them, I seen them in the Barrowlands, and it was quite possibly, like, to this day, the greatest gig I've ever seen in my fucking life, and that was 15 years ago.
I was going to say, that must have been a long time ago. Them doing the Barras.
They done the Barras in 2000. I was too young for that. The first time I seen them, I'm raging, by the way, because Scott, my pal, I was saying, he's seen them in 2002, right? Just when they were fucking, like,
at the peak, man.
At the peak, like, ultimate fucking peak. First time I seen them was in 2004. They done the Download fucking festival in Glasgow for 1 year only. They done a Download festival in Glasgow Green, and they done it like a Tuesday night. We had to fucking dog school. No, they got it. But the year 2005, they played the Barras just like a one-off gig, and mate, I've been to countless gigs. I've been to, like, my first gig was in 2001, and to this day, that Slipknot gig 2005 is the fucking greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
See, to me, it'll always be the So Many Animal Call, because it was the first gig I've ever been to.
Aye, that'd be cool as fuck.
It was more the fact is so put me in contact with another band called Last Exit, who unfortunately are no longer a band these days. But I done a lot of PR work for them, so I promoted all that. Like, they were doing a music video and they wanted like people in as a crowd.
Aye.
Where they were playing on a stage at the box down the stairs.
Aye.
See the tiny wee fucking room that holds about 150 people.
Aye, I've been there. Aye,
so we're in there, and I promoted that, and their main singer was doing gigs in the Beresford Lounge.
Aye, I've heard there. Aye.
And me and my pal would go on a Thursday night to see him, like, just travel through train for Sunnyside to Charing Cross.
Aye.
£2 up, sort it.
Mate, that was my life for such a long time. Like 2 or 3 gigs a week, man, playing at every venue in Glasgow, and then towards the end of my fucking career, if you want to call it that, I joined a band called Armstrong, who were touring, and we'd done like Scottish tours and stuff like that, and I managed to get to go to like, Inverness and Aberdeen. I was like fucking Aberdeen every fucking weekend, man. And I'd played King Tut's like several times before, but when I joined this band, we headlined and fucking sell the place out, man.
I was going to say, I've been to one gig that I've seen King Tut's sold out to that, and it was a band, again, boys that I've met throughout the years called Single by Sunday, who are right now.
Aye, no, I played with him before, man.
Killing the scene.
I played with him in a fucking Paisley.
Off.
The bungalow.
Played the bungalow. But I know, so I got speaking to them, and then I was PRing, believe it or not, one day, and I didn't realise they were doing the O2.
Right.
And I was out PRing, walking up Sucky Hall Street and seeing all these lassies standing, and I looked up and it said Single by Sunday, and I phoned the boy, I was like, look, I've not got a ticket, I don't get my wages to end of my shift, can you sort of one out? And we made your shift in at 9 o'clock, he went, that's perfect, we go on at 9:10. He went, give me a phone when you're outside, so I went and got my wages, went outside and was ready to give him money for ticket, went, right, one in.
Aye, that was
got the wristband and just took me in, I was like, yes.
Aye, they were young laddies, if I can remember, they were fucking proper young laddies.
They're doing really well now, they've changed their drummer.
They changed their drummer, I can't really remember too much of it. I just remember them being wee laddies, but they had like their management was there. And I remember we were all kind of saying like, who the fuck are these guys?
I know. Again, massive props to Josh and that. Like, I've got a lot of time for the boys. They go for like a pure 5-star style look.
Aye.
So they've all got like red hair, purple hair, yellow hair, and blue hair.
That was it. That was them.
That was them. And it's that way. It's like you're different, especially in Glasgow. Like most bands are more like I've noticed recently are indie bands.
There was a big massive fucking indie movement for like 2009 or 2014.
But that was The View. The View started that.
What's that?
The View.
The View. Well, there you go.
The View started that. You can see that. Like, but then where's again Kyle for The View? What's he been doing?
Being banned for America. That's what he's been doing.
I don't even know what to know.
That was the downfall of their band. He was banned for America and they couldn't do American tours, so they couldn't get nobody would touch him. No management company would touch him because they couldn't do nothing. So that's why I'm them. And there was a short time where he would drink in the barnyard, and you know the barnyard, don't you? So he would drink in the fucking barnyard.
The barny.
Aye. But it's no, it was bands like your Pete Doherty, like your Libertines and stuff like that. They massively fucking had that resurgence in like so like your 2006, 2007 and stuff like that, man. That's shit like that, man. That's what totally fucking kicked off. So for about like 2009, as I say, so like 2013, all you were getting in Glasgow was bands like that, indie gigs, man. That was it. But as I say, like when I started playing in bands, I was metal bands. You know what I mean? With fucking 14-year-old wee laddies trying to play fucking Metallica songs and Slipknot songs and shit like that. And but then like I'm a massive Nirvana fan. So like and like Smashing Pumpkins and things like that. So that's more my genre, more my kind of scene. So that's the kind of bands I was always trying to make and try to get going.
See, that's the issue with nowadays. You don't get bands like that and singers like that.
No, he definitely doesn't.
I was saying like Michael Bublé, he's such a good singer, but he's only a Christmas singer these days.
That's it. There's no rock stars like that anymore, mate.
There's no singers. It's auto-tuners. That's call them.
Definitely.
And that's I'm glad. Like I understand. I need to play them in a DJ, but you don't see them get the way they record it anymore. It's all electronic. It's like I'll watch it religiously at least once a month, straight out of Compton.
Oh, aye, fucking great, man. I'm a massive fucking 90s hip-hop fan.
You see how like Dre Matters it all, and he just sits there and just it comes to him as it goes.
Well, that's what it. He came up with fucking G-Funk. You know what I mean? That you don't get that anymore. You don't get people who are actually creating their own style and creating their own genre. And a lot of people say, well, there's not much else you can do. Well, that's ridiculous because if you're an artist and you're creative, then there's always something you can do. So you're just shooting yourself in the foot.
I think the best example is Eminem.
Oh, definitely.
1998. No, the reason I know this is because I looked at it. I was on my came on my phone just before you text me. Mm-hmm. In 1998, he was worth £0. Nobody would touch him. In 2020, he's worth 218 million.
Did you ever watch the Defiant ones? You ever seen that?
I did.
I
Amazing
mean,
documentary.
exactly, like the story with him, like with Jimmy Iovine and stuff like that, man, it was unbelievable, and all about like the rap Olympics and stuff, and like exactly just how he got signed with Dr. Dre, just like
Dre took a chance in him,
big time,
and it worked.
He took a chance, but at the same time, he knew himself, like deep down, he's like, no, this is going to be fucking huge.
Dre knew he was going to change the world.
Exactly, and it did. I mean,
that's how it should be. You get people like
that's
fucking.
the very first
Machine
gig
Gun Kelly.
The very first gig I ever went to. They used to do a festival in Glasgow called Gig in the Green, and it was Gig in the Green 2001, and it was Eminem, right? And the first day, I mean, I was 12 years old, and my pal in school, his dad worked for it, and he says, "Listen, I can get his tickets. Do you want to go?" And so at the time, I'm a fucking wee mosher who's fucking wearing baggy jeans and every night. So the first day was Eminem, Marlon Manson at his fucking peak, Papa Roach and things like that, right? And my pal didn't take me that day. He took people who didn't fucking like that kind of music.
Oh, mate, that's heartbreaking.
It took me the next day. The next day was Green Day, but it was Green Day when they were good. Like fucking before all the piss.
The London gig.
Before they fucking sell the fuck out.
The Uno Dos Tres gig.
All that shit.
That ruined it, man. Like I remember, like, cause my cousins were all big fucking Green Day fans, Arctic Monkeys, stuff like that. So I grew up listening to it all. So when I told my pals I'd be playing like Green Day, I'd be playing, and they'd all look at me going, "The fuck are you listening to?" And I'm like, "This is music."
See, like, like Green. I mean, I'm still a massive Green Day fan, but everything before American Idiot is fucking when they sell out and just fucking totally hingy.
See, American Idiot's like their peak, and then it just came out.
That was that, mate. See in the 90s, mate. They were one of the greatest punk bands of all fucking time. So credible, and now they don't have anything like that at all. They had so much credibility back in the 90s, like with their albums like Dookie and stuff like that. I mean, monumental albums, and their gigs they were just a full on punk band. Now they're things for the Disney Channel.
Aye, they're pop punk.
It's mental. It's fucking ridiculous. So I'm absolutely gutted about. I still regret that gig, the Gig in the Green. I'm still raging with that pal who never took me, because I would have seen Eminem when he brought out Marshall Mathers LP.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So I would have seen, and I would have seen Marlon Manson at the height of all the controversy, all the shit. I would have seen that, and I never got to see it.
See, I said to Mrs. One man I'd have loved to have seen in his peak was Ozzy.
Oh fuck, I definitely.
I'd have loved to have seen Ozzy Osbourne in his peak. Just the man was just different, man.
Aye.
Still to this day, you see it when he's like doing the Osbournes and stuff, and he's not there.
Well, it's crazy because like he's not there until he goes on stage, and then he goes on stage and he's fucking unbelievable. You're going, how the fuck does that happen? My dad's a massive old school heavy metal fan. Like I grew up listening to fucking Black Sabbath and stuff like that. So I've had it drilled into my head since fucking day one, just like Ozzy Osbourne, man. You know what I mean?
They were the bat AC/DC and all that, like that. Like I said, I can go feel like being the good thing about a DJ is you need to have a variety of music. You need to.
Aye.
If you're a DJ who can only play one thing, there's something wrong with you.
Aye, definitely. I can imagine that.
And it's like they're going to laugh. I've done a party, and I can talk about it all the time. I was playing like your GBX bits and pieces.
Aye.
And a woman came up and went, "Son, would you mind playing Elvis Presley, please?" In the middle of bits and pieces, so I'm going, like, how am I bringing this down? So I had a Celine Dion remix.
Right.
So I put that on, but in the middle of the remix, I put the original version on. But nobody clicked.
Right.
And it was the first time I've ever done it. And I put Elvis Presley on, and everyone's looking, going, "What? How?"
How did you do that?
And I wish, see, to this day, I wish I recorded it, just because the timing of the lyrics and everything had to be like
spot on.
And I sat and I've watched my screen, and the system I use, it shows you like beats, it shows you like timing, and I'm listening. I'm going, I'm playing this one song in my head with headphones as well on my phone, making sure I've got it timed to perfection.
Shaking yourself.
And I was like, okay, 3, 2, 1, switch, and it worked. It was the chorus. It was the chorus that got it, and I was like, thank fuck, because if that was a lyric, like a verse, it could have went off completely. And it was one of the ones that just happened. It was like, but people looked at me and I was like, listen, I'll bring it back up. Just this woman asked for fucking
You
Elvis
can't really
Presley.
calm down.
What was it? Jailhouse Rock. That was it. I remember it. Cause I can never listen to it ever again. It was Jailhouse Rock, and it was just like, oh no, what am I playing after this? And I'm like, alright, I've got an 80s folder sitting in my hard drive. Go into this, let's see what I can bring in. And I just worked through the 80s for a while.
Aye.
And then it was like, I thought, do you know what, coming towards the end of the night, let's get the party tunes on. So I
Mhm.
put in the cheesy stuff, the Beautiful Sunday, the
Fucking right, man. Aye.
YMCA, like stuff like that, to bring into Loch Lomond. Because everyone's
Listen,
on the
there's,
dance floor anyway.
there's some of the best times. Like, see when you're at a party and the tunes are just hitting right, but the good cheesy tunes, the good party, like as I was saying, you're sloshing all that carry on, man.
Mate,
Like, you can't argue.
Like, the first party I ever done, I majorly froze up on, and I just kept playing the same shit. Because my first
Right.
function, I just kept playing it, because that's all they asked for. The same
Aye.
tunes over and over again, which was Welcome to the Party, Disco Lancy, shit like that. Like
Aye.
the ones that are in the charts, like perfect.
Aye.
But my next one, I was like, okay, I need to start focusing. So I started off with your chart stuff, and then brought in like your bootlegs type of thing, which is your remixes, and then
Right.
Buffy gets called, and you put your bootlegs on again, but your chill bootlegs, and then you go, alright, I want to see people up dancing, it's your cheesy time.
Aye.
And then you hit in your GBX, and then it's Loch Lomond. And you don't
That's
even
it.
realise how easy it is to plan that out.
Aye.
But say if you're sitting in the middle of a deck and you don't think about it pre-hand,
You shake yourself.
aye. Like I've been at
Aye.
a nightclub, and my pal turned around and went, right, go and play.
What?
Eh? He's like, you've got your USB in you? I went, uh-huh. He's like, go on. I was like,
See you later.
He's like, I'm going for a fag, on you go. My song's got a minute, you better find a tune. And he actually sat and watched me like scan what he's playing. I'm playing in my head, like House, Apollo folder, Ed Sheeran remix, done.
Aye.
He's
Done.
like, he went, I wanted to test you there, so I can go out for a fag and knowing you I can leave you. I went, oh you prick.
Oh, fuck.
And that was me for then. I've done like that was my first night in a club, man, doing it, and I thought, do you know what, I could get used to this. And
Well, that's quite possibly like that. Even better. Like, see getting chucked in the deep end of things, man. That's
well,
that.
what
Is,
I got learning
think I
DJ.
swim, mate.
I was
Aye.
in Barbuda with my pal who DJ'd my 21st.
Mhm.
Met him on the Friday night. Now you'll remember it as the old Live.
No,
Platinum.
I remember his age.
Aye, Edge. So it was level 2 Edge. It was DJing in there on the Friday. I was pissed.
Aye.
Like, I was utter pissed. Like I'd been out the Thursday night, went to a gaff in frickin' Maryhill. For the heritage, ended up Maryhill.
Oh, good nights, mate.
Got a train back, in the same clothes. Went back to heritage. Got pissed. Headed to Platinum. Fuck knows how I got in.
Mhm.
Seen Craig and he was like, "Are you waiting in the morning?" I was like, "Oh mate, nothing how." I was like, "I'll be rough." Like I can remember the conversation between me. To him, I played. I couldn't remember it. He's like, "Alright, I'm DJing Barbie." I went, "Oh, my pal one's like sitting chat away." He's like, "Do you want to come with me so I'm not moaning?" I went, "Aye, sound." He's like, "I'll get you at 6 o'clock." I went, "Perfect." That gave me time to sleep. Ended
Aye.
up going back to a gaff.
Ah, fuck.
Philly
Mate.
walked out at my grand's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right after
Lucky
a
enough,
2-day bender.
after 2 day bender. I phoned them to keep them updated, let them know I'm safe. But my grandpa was in stitches at me. I was
Right.
like, I'm going to jump for a shower and go to sleep. Forgot I had this all planned out at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock goes, I hear a cutter beating. My papa's away to pick up my gran. I can hear
Aye.
him and my door goes, who the fuck is
Fuck.
this?
So.
Has my papa maybe lost his keys or something?
Aye.
So I stood down in this house coat and I look and it's my pal Craig waving. I pulled look at my, I opened the door and went, what's up? He went, mind you're coming to bed with me? I was like, you're going to come in for 5 minutes, mate. Well, I sort myself out. So I'm literally in his car getting ready. Left a note for my gran and grandpa. Like, by the way, away to Barbuda, not drinking. Be home at 3. Aye, that didn't end well. I ended up spending
No.
£200 in Barbuda.
I was going to say how'd that night go.
I ended up spending
Fucking
that
hell.
was a three night bender that I regret. But see, it was just one of the ones that were iconic because I ended up going back with him, and
Aye.
I met Callum Best. He's a class guy. He is.
Aye.
He's mate. He's somebody that I'm looking to get on. But when I can do the sit down ones,
That'd be good, man. That'd be a good one, aye.
because again we spoke before, so we have. So it's kind of one of that where I can be more comfortable. Like I'm with you, I can just chat away to guys like yourself who are
Aye.
more genuine. But like with celebrities, it's like you need to watch what you say.
Aye, because there's things you can't talk about.
Like I wouldn't bring his dad in it, apart from how great a footballer his dad was.
I know, because you need to remember these people. That's their lives, man. They hear that shit day in, day fucking night.
But I'd focus on him and be like, oh, so how was life in Towie?
What
What was that like? What is Joe Essex really that thick?
Aye.
But
Aye,
aye,
shit
so
like that, man.
But mate, I'm going to wrap this up because it's getting late, and I know you want to go and chill with your missus. I do appreciate you coming on, Stuart. It's been a great laugh. I'm glad that you came on, and hopefully, when COVID comes down majorly, we can get you back on maybe 6-7 months. Before you go, have you got anything coming up that you can reveal? Any big things coming up for the next couple of months, weeks?
I'm sorry about that.
Any sketches coming up? That we can look
Always
forward to?
sketches. Always sketches. I think, as we touched on earlier on,
It just kind of comes to you.
just quite. There's things in the pipeline that I can't really speak about just now, but there's big things. There's big things coming. Aye. That's it, man. I can't.
No,
really
that's fine.
Listen, the sketches will still be like the ones I do. The sketches they'll still come 10 a penny, but there's bigger things in development. Everything I do, it's not just for the one-off laugh. It's all built up to something. There's
other things in mind.
Aye, there's other things working in the background.
Well, like I said, there's always a thing we say, like fans say Parker's. Parker's in a thing would just be amazing. I'd actually sit there in stitches.
My pal, like I'm in a group chat with my pals, and they're all Celtic fans, all diehard Celtic fans, and one of them takes me, and he was talking about this Parker's thing. I just thought I was like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, fuck, right, people are saying Parker's. I was like, fucking, we'll see if that clicks on.
Oh, mate, it has and all. But listen, I do appreciate you coming on, mate. It's been a great laugh.
Oh, definitely, mate.
Once
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'll link you over it so you can have a giggle.
No worries, mate.
Guys, remember to like, subscribe, follow, whatever platform this is on, and we'll see you next week for the next episode.